Penedox here for Tactical TV. I'm here with Paul and Uji. Welcome, Paul.
Alan.
I get a note here saying that we're going to talk about the problems with the South African government. How long are we going to be here? Let me ask you.
Yeah.
And the phone camera shut up then.
Well, I don't know.
Let's try.
Well, we know that's not going to happen. All right, so this is not political, but there are certain endemic problems in the South African way of doing things. And I've touched on a couple of them where it relates to what we specifically focus on, which is firearm ownership. And the one thing, and they're actually quite broad. You see them coming through in every facet of our lives. I'm not going to bring stuff out about the response to the lockdown, the response to COVID, whatever, but work them out for yourself. So one of the major problems that we have is administrative overreach. In the same breath that we have administrative overreach, where the government tries to micromanage every aspect of your lives, okay, they're also hopelessly incompetent at it. I mean, they're really, really bad.
But they want to control you.
They want to do everything. They want to tell you how to. You can't buy slops.
The chicken, you may not.
You may not buy a rotisserie freaking chicken. I mean, so they on the one hand they have these ambitions to micromanage every aspect of your life, to treat you like to infantilize you, to treat you like an absolute infant, like a child. On the other hand, they're really, 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 really bad at it. So that's a problem that we have. We've created a situation where clerical workers, essentially administrative people, have been given extraordinary powers to serve as gatekeepers to services, to our freedoms. So we're led around by the nose by people who make rules, but little rules. Every single police station virtually in the country has a DFO that interprets things differently. And the way they interpret the Firearms Control Act and the regulations to the Firearms Control Act and the directives that keep coming out from government or from their bosses, the way they interpret them on the local level determines how your life turns out when dealing with them, and that's absolutely ridiculous. There has to be, and there is a solution. Well, there are solutions, and we're going to talk about them later as they come up. The other problem that we have in South Africa in general, but in specific with firearm ownership, is rule by decree. So we set up all these little tin gods. We set up guys in positions of power.
Yeah.
And we let them make rules and regulations that aren't based in the law. And the law is not based on the Constitution. Now, the Constitution is not something which grants us powers. The Constitution is something by which we limit the state's abuse of our freedoms. So the Bill of Rights doesn't grant us rights, it recognizes rights that we already have. And it says to the government, you may not touch those rights. It limits the government's abuse of those rights. So we've got the whole thing backwards. We believe that the government gives us rights. It came up again this last week where somebody was going on about we don't have the right to own firearms. Yeah, you don't have the right to own to own stupid clothing either, or yellow cars. They may offend some people, but that's not how rights work. We have rights by virtue of the fact that we're human. We were born. We exist. That's why we have rights. They're called natural rights. We don't have to have that affirmed by the government. We just have the government to stay the hell away from it. Anyway, but so we're drifting now a little bit off the point.
Yes. Between natural rights and positive law. Positive law is where other people decide
Lord, yeah, that's those idiots we spoke about a year ago.
Yeah.
That think that they must govern every aspect of your life. So they tell you what you can do. You may not buy slops.
Exactly.
Or rotisserie chickens. So what's GOSA doing about this? How where it impacts on us in our specific arena, firearm rights and firearm ownership in general. What are we doing about it? You know, Winston Churchill during the Second World War coined the phrase, "We will fight them on the beaches," and that's exactly what it's got to be. We've got to fight them everywhere. We've got to fight them in the air. We've got to fight them on the ground. We've got to fight them in cyberspace. We've got to fight back in every possible way.
You can't just fight for one section of the firearm ownership: hunting, sport shooting, self-defense.
We have to do everything all at once.
Absolutely.
We have to be everywhere. So where that relates to us on the smallest scale, and what we're doing right here now, we're fighting them in social media.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the GOSA Facebook group with all of its 103,000 members is a very, very important battlefield, because it's where we can express ourselves, and we have an engagement level on that site that hangs steadily at between 75 and 80% engagement. So that means that we engage with up to 80% of that 103,000 people on a monthly basis. That means it's not just a thing that's out there. People don't just join and then go away. They keep coming back. They keep engaging. An engagement level of 80% is extraordinary.
It is.
It's very high.
The hijab thing got over like 30,000, 40,000 engagements.
Well, exactly that.
Just on one
exactly
topic.
that. So we engage them on social media because this draws general public attention to issues, or specific public attention to issues on social media. And as an example, the week before last, we engaged on social media, and we spoke about the issuing of the direct, we spoke about section 13, 14, 15 and 16 licenses and the lawful use clause, etc., etc., etc. last week. The head of legal services in the Free State issues, a brigadier general, issues a directive that has application throughout the country. His directive says, essentially, if they've got a license, leave it alone. Doesn't matter whether it's a Section 13 license and he's got it loaded on his hip, leave him the hell alone. And that's exactly the kind of, and he specifically refers to social media, that it's been going. So that was a very successful interaction. We accomplished a lot there very, very easily. The next area that we upgrade from, or maybe downgrade, I'm not quite sure which, from social media to mainstream media. So last week we raised the issue of the hijab wearing. You put out a brilliant program on it, a documentary program on it, interviewing the person involved, interviewing attorneys, blah, 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 blah. And it went down very, very well. So well that last Saturday, the Saturday Citizen picked up the story and ran it on their front page as their main headline article, with half of the page on page 4, with the rest of the stuff in it. That's great. That's the mainstream media recognize the importance of what we're doing in our little way, and giving us the nod, and picking up our stories and running with our stories. So we've done very, very well out of that. It was also picked up by Daily Friend, who did a very nice podcast on it on Monday.
Hello, Uji.
Sorry, and I have the Rottweiler licking my knee now. Hello, Uji.
It's a time, my baby.
He just had to only wags his tail. He just had to be part of the story. Anyway, so that's an example of where social media leads mainstream media, and it circles around.
Good.
So it's all good. We've got great.
Stop the licking.
Uji.
There we. Hannes the Wrangler. The Rottweiler
the
Wrangler.
Rottweiler Wrangler has taken him away from me. Anyway, so that's so social media, mainstream media, and that's great.
It's easier than the courts and less expensive.
Yes, absolutely. So this has something to do. The impact of this has on that. The hijab story is not about one Islamic lady whose license was refused because somebody at CFR, one of these tin gods at CFR, decided that they could redefine what the standardized passport photo is. The whole thing relates to that. There is a standard, and she exactly met the standard.
Absolutely.
And still, this little tin god at CFR decided that it was his prerogative to refuse her and to jerk her around. It's not about her. It's about all of us.
All of our, as soon as we...
Freedom is indivisible. Once they, the Reverend Martin Niemöller, during the Second World War, after the Second World War, spoke about, first they came for the communists, and I was not a communist, so I didn't stand up. And that's exactly the point. They're coming for the low-hanging fruit. They're coming for the people which they think they will be able to get away with. There's a lot of bad feeling about Muslims and etc. etc. They look different to us. They wear hijabs and veils. That's different. It must be bad.
But it's dividing and conquering us.
They try to divide us up, but they try to pick the soft targets first. So they go for something which 99% of the people will look at and say, yeah, but that's a little bit different. It's different to me. So that they went for what they thought was a soft target. Meh, not so much. Yeah. This matter, by the way, although we haven't solved this matter the way we solved the Section 13, 14, 15, 16 matter, this matter is ongoing, and I'll refer to that in a little while.
There's other plans in the background as well.
The other thing that we do is we engage directly. This is all about what GOSA does in response to this stuff. So social media, mainstream media. We engage directly with the decision makers. We write to the generals. We write to the portfolio committee. We appear in Parliament and we testify in front of the portfolio committee. I've just completed this morning a letter to the head of visible policing. So there's two main sections to the police. There's the CID, the Criminal Investigative Division, and there's visible policing. Both of them are run by lieutenant generals.
Yeah.
In fact, the current national commissioner, prior to his elevation to national commissioner status, served as head of visible policing. So visible policing is the largest component in the police. So they're very, very important. The head of Vispol, General Matlala, has a lieutenant general, because only the national commissioner is a full general. Everybody else is a slightly lesser general, but not much. Okay, so lieutenant general is a 3-star general. The general rank itself is a 4-star rank. Anyway, but you refer to the man as or to the people as general. He has actually produced standard operating procedures for licensing and administration of firearms, which is the first time that anybody's actually done that. It's just came out last week, I think.
Yeah, it's got to do with competency.
It's got to do with everything. The license, specific and it's detailed instructions to DFOs and to station commanders and everybody else, and it's detailed instructions exactly what they have to do. It also includes the standard, which is where we refer back to this thing. It refers to the standard for photographs, and it confirms their passport photos. Now, passport photos is exactly what the Department of Home Affairs has standardized on, where specifically with regards to the hijab, it shows exactly the face being exposed, but the hair being covered by a veil, and it's got a big tick underneath it. So we responded to the SOPs that the general has drafted, and they termed draft SOPs. So that's good. Maybe hopefully he's open to improvements. And we responded to the general in very friendly terms and said to him, "Thank you very much for this. We'd like to. Can we offer some suggestions? In the first place, we have a suggestion relating to the ID photo issue, and we included a copy of the Home Affairs PDF, and we said, maybe you actually want to distribute this with your SOPs, just so there's no argument about what has to be on the photograph." So a great document, General. Thank you very much. But we think we can help to make it a little bit better.
And hopefully we can sort out this nonsense about the hijabs and stuff and the declining.
Exactly
if
that.
we don't have to go to the courts or the Human Rights Commission, at least.
Exactly that. Exactly that. If we can solve this problem
through this,
the way we solved the problem with the Section 13, 15 and 16 licenses,
it's the best for everybody.
If we can solve it by encouraging the police to issue a clarification about stuff and distribute it to their members, it costs our members nothing. It costs us time.
Yeah.
The moment we take legal action, it costs money.
More money.
So speaking of that, I'm being presented with a gift by the Rottweiler. It's a ratty looking
Pip. It's called
Pip. It's an X-Man toy.
It's lasted a long time.
There we go. Sorry. So back to what we're doing. Okay, so we take legal action. Legal action costs money. It costs us lots of money. It costs all of the members because we are member funded. It costs all of us money. It costs us lots of money. We're in court in the beginning of next month. We only get sorry, if I break away occasionally, it's because I'm being presented with a rather soggy plush toy. Okay, so we are the legal action. We're in court in the beginning of next month, and we'll only get the exact date of the hearing of the matter once the roll is called on the Monday morning. It might even be the Monday afternoon, first week of June, first full week of June. We're in court on the matter of the declaratory order. Again, another one of the big things. Just we want the police, we want the judge to tell us, to decide for us what we know. We know that the license isn't the card, because that's impossible to imagine.
A proper judge this time.
Hopefully we don't get a learner judge. Please don't send us a learner judge. Anyway, so we want the judge to tell us what the license is. Our contention is the license is the database of the CFR. The moment a decision maker there has approved the license and they've entered the record onto the computer system, the license exists.
They've gone through all of the checks and balances.
They've gone
it's
through.
Done.
The license exists from that moment on. You are licensed to own that firearm from that moment on. What's in dispute, or what the police are disputing, is what constitutes documentary evidence that license exists.
The white license.
Remember that a cop on the side of the road, if he pulls you over, can radio into his control room, and they can check on the computer that such and such a gun is licensed to such and such a person. They can do that live, and they will do that in most cases where they suspect that it might not be a genuine license that you're presenting. So they can do that in any case. So why is there an issue? Anyway, so that's what the court case is about, and they hopefully will come out of that with a ruling that printouts, which is what suffices if you ask for a reprint of your license. They print you out an inquiry screen, and they stamp and sign it, and you go with that and with your receipt for the payment for the renewal or of the reprint, and that is your license until such time as your card arrives. If that can be approved for that, why not for once your license is approved? So we're asking the court to declare that. And this kind of all that we've been talking about, the stuff that we do, the stuff that we're doing, the live show, takes a hell of a lot of effort. It takes preparation, it takes equipment, it takes skill to put this together. We do a lot of other shows where we film stuff and we put it together in packages for the Girls on Fire, for the firearms festivals, etc., 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 etc. And all of this takes time and effort and money and skilled people. So we have, during this last week, had some comments on the site where people are querying why we do it in a certain way. Why do we ask for people to be members, and then why do we charge for services? And I want to run through that, guys, if I can. It's been answered specifically many times, many times. but it bears repeating. And this goes back to our origin story a little bit as well. In 2015, we were all volunteers, and we got this opportunity. We created this opportunity to go to Parliament and to speak about firearm ownership to Parliament, to the National Parliament. We scrambled to find the money to pay for plane tickets and to pay for hotel accommodation. We didn't have the money. We had to scratch around for it. We had to create T-shirts and sell T-shirts, blah, blah, blah. Long story. Anyway, we came out of that process. We were called back to Parliament to go and present our envisaged solution to Parliament. In June, we were called back to Parliament. We had to do a whole series of meetings in Cape Town and in Pretoria. And we found that we didn't have the money, and we didn't have the personnel to give us the administrative support that we needed. We didn't have paid membership at that stage. We relied on donations. It was a problem. You can't run a professional campaign using donations and volunteers. You can't. Volunteers are gold. We love them to bits, but you cannot run a professional organization with this. So we decided to monetize in order to professionalize. We had to pay salaries to people in order for us to produce, in order to produce professional results, paid services. All right. So we started taking in paid membership, and that's gone very well. And we offered them a variety of services as part of their membership fee. We also then, either at a discount or for a very low fee, and obviously these professional services need to be paid for. And those professional services have increased over the years. It started out, we tried legal insurance. Legal insurance fell flat on its face. It didn't work at all. The underwriter pulled the rug out from under us. Anyway, because they couldn't make money out of it. So let me sketch what we have in our armory, as it were. At the moment, GOSA has 8 professional staff. 8. That's not nobody. That's not a small office. It's a medium-sized office. We have 2 executive directors, 1 full-time myself, the executive chairman, and I'll work 60 or 70 hours a week on GOSA.
So 2 o'clock in the morning.
Sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning. And we have 1 part-time. And the part-time person is our CEO in waiting, our CEO designate, who's coming into the organization. She works part-time for us at the moment. Later this year, she's going to be working a little bit more part-time for us. Next year, we slowly but surely absorbing her into the organization, so that when she hits ground here, we know her, she knows us, she knows the organization through and through. She can answer all of the questions, and at which stage I start withdrawing slightly from a member-facing or a front-facing role. Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. But we have to be able to compensate people. We also have a qualified, and we have to pay Rottweiler food. Yeah, that one. We also have an admitted attorney on staff. GOSA Law is an admitted attorney. He's a proper, fully qualified, bar admitted attorney who sits in the office next door and who works full-time on members' matters.
And he does a lot of stuff for free, which
so this is the thing, yeah. So under him we have a pre-legal consultant, a paralegal almost, that we've trained up ourselves to fulfill that issues with CFR at gmail.com function, to do the simple inquiries, keep on phoning, develop relationships with people in CFR, with the right people, so that you can phone them on a continual basis and ask for updates, ask why something is stuck, why it's not working, and a lot of what both of them do, a lot of what Chris does, and a lot of what Sean does is actually unpaid. It's for unpaid members. It's for members of the public that phone in. And you might say, well, why are we servicing them with members' money? Well, quite simply, we're a public benefit organization. We work for the benefit of the general public and the specific gun-owning public, not just for our members. in order to get public benefit organization status, you have to provide a service to a broader range of the public.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
Maybe you could just also cover,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, but it's mostly gun people. Everybody that's in the office ultimately becomes gun people that owns their own guns, do sport shooting, etc. So which is important to know.
So we have two executive directors. We have a qualified and admitted attorney. We have a pre-legal consultant. We have an office manager, professional office manager, who also serves as our bookkeeper, because we've got a lot of admin. There is a hell of a lot of, the membership management system is a bear. It took us years and years and years to get right. We've got it right. It works like a dream, but we have a ton of admin. We have a ton of bookkeeping that we have to do. Because we allow our members to pay their annual membership fee in monthly tranches, which most people seem to go for. We have, instead of the 10,000 paid members that we can have up to 12,000 transactions
every month.
Every month.
That has to be captured, and
so every one of them has to be a debit and a credit and blah blah blah. The whole double entry accounting system, it's a nightmare. And we have people phoning in with membership, wanting to upgrade, needing to downgrade their membership, because we offer that service too for people that are in a sticky situation. So all of those things require reissuing certificates. Most people seem to bin when they get their membership welcoming letter, they seem to bin the 24/7 legal number which we give to all paid members. They seem to bin it, and then later, oh no, but I didn't know I could phone. So yeah, well, yes, we have to reissue the numbers.
That's a really important number.
It's a very important number, and she has an office administrator, an admin assistant, because she has too much work to handle for one person. Then we have an events coordinator who's also our jack of all trades, who's the Uji wrangler and the cameraman. Uji's now licking the cast iron doorstop.
Which is the dog.
Okay, sorry. Uji's the dog, the Rottweiler. We have an events coordinator who also does all of the online sales. We sell bullets, we sell other memorabilia, we sell T-shirts and hoodies like the one I'm wearing. We sell all sorts of stuff to help to generate funds. But the events is the main thing. When we host an event, it's a full-time damn job.
He does the jock applications.
He does the processes, the jock applications. He does and he puts together and hosts the events. And he's critically important because we have more and more events coming up now that the knee's off our neck a little bit. And then we have an intern. We have a young lady who works for us as an intern, a paid intern, but she's understudying the events coordinator. But she can also answer phones, and she can make coffee and all that sort of good stuff, and answer the doorbell and blah blah blah. So it's a big staff. It's a professional, not a big staff. It's a properly sized staff. It's an appropriately sized staff. We couldn't do what we do without having an appropriately sized staff, as we do. We have it, and as per the membership categories, the four membership categories: ordinary, silver, gold, and diamond. All of those, the details of the services which are available, and each one of them has services available to them. Obviously, the higher you move in the membership categories, the more services and the more discounts we can offer you in compensation for the higher membership fee. So all of those have been published previously, but we will attach each of those to this. On the GOSA Facebook group, we'll attach those documents again so that everybody, because you can't repeat this often enough, so that everybody knows what we provide, where they slot in, what's available. The diamond members get the gold members get free inquiries, which we
CFR
charge otherwise for.
You have to
CFR
charge
inquiries.
it.
The diamond members can bank their inquiries. If they don't use it this year, they can bank it next year. They have 2 inquiries for free. That's real value.
You can't expect for 200 rands for people to do free motivations or free other legal services.
So the motivations and appeals, we have a legal team that we outsource that stuff to. They're specialists. They're the guys that do this for a living. They are very, very, very good. They're the best in the country by streets and yards. So yeah, we've tried to, at every step of the way, we've tried to provide more services than what we can afford, really. We're a non-profit. We don't carry over a profit, so we can't. We have to give everything back to the members all the time, every year. That makes things difficult because it means we don't have a cushion to sit on. We don't have a nice bank balance that we can carry forward year to year to year or month to month to help us out in the lean times. We have to spend our money or return it to the members all the time, and we return it to the members via these additional services we provide. Which is posing for a picture now.
There we go.
Okay, so guys, please engage with us if you have any queries.
If you're not a member, please
If you're not a member, please join. If you are a member, have a look at the membership benefits that we offer. Consider upgrading your membership. If you'd just like to chuck some cash in the kitty for the legal fund, please. Our lawyers would like to get paid. They don't get paid very often and they don't get paid very much. But we found that they actually work better when you actually pay them. It's amazing.
And hopefully both Girls on Fire and GOSA'S PBO status will come through and you'll be able to get tax back.
So I spoke a bit earlier about the PBO status, the Public Benefit Organisation status.
Applied both.
The reason that we want the Public Benefit Organisation status is we have great corporate sponsors. We have guys like Paul Mar Ford in Northcliff that provide us with vehicles whenever we need them. So please, guys, give them some love too. But we'd like to be able to give them, to issue a tax certificate to them. We need the PBO status so we can issue tax certificates to our big donors and to small donors. We can issue a tax certificate, which you get a certain portion of whatever you donate or whatever you give to us, you can get off your tax. We can issue. We're issuing at the moment. We're issuing our invoices since we became VAT registered 2 months ago. We're now issuing VAT invoices.
So you can
claim the VAT back if it's in a business. If you've got a clever bookkeeper. So yeah, we're trying to give stuff back to you guys all the time. But in order to do that, we need to charge for services. It's all there. It's all in the attachments to this video and on our Facebook group. Guys, have a great weekend.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Scrappy, the Land Rover, has lots of friends. Come play with us, the fun never ends. We're gun buddies, we learn gun safety. It's fun and easy, just like 1, 2, 3. If you see a gun, you shouldn't be afraid. You're a gun buddy and you'll be okay. So gun buddies, what does Scrappy say? Stop, don't touch, call a parent, walk away. Someone has a gun they keep in their room. Don't touch it or it will go boom. Scrappy knows what's best, so listen girls and boys. Guns are not bad, but guns are not toys. If you see a gun, you shouldn't be afraid. You're a gun buddy and you'll be okay. So gun buddies, what does Scrappy say? Stop, don't touch, call a parent, walk away. A friend invites you to come and play. He tells you to touch a gun. No, that's not okay. Scrappy knows what's best, so listen girls and boys. Guns are not bad, but guns are not toys. If you see a gun, you shouldn't be afraid. You're a gun buddy and you'll be okay. So gun buddies, what does Scrappy say? Stop, don't touch, call a parent, walk away. If you see a gun, you shouldn't be afraid. You're a gun buddy and you'll be okay. So gun buddies, what does Scrappy say? Stop, don't touch, call a parent, walk away.